all. If you've bought granola in the store, you know how expensive it can be, and that's probably why you're here today, is to learn how to make homemade granola. It does take a few key ingredients. You're going to need 1.5 cups of nuts. It can be of a mixed sort, whatever you choose. You're gonna have 4 cups of oats, whether they're gluten-free or whether they're regular oats. So this recipe can be altered to be gluten-free friendly. It is vegan friendly because you're using coconut oil in this recipe as well. I chose to use pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds, coconut. This is organic coconut from Trader Joe's. I also have sunflower seeds, some Himalayan pink sea salt, vanilla, cinnamon, maple syrup, and then your coconut oil. Okay, so you have the lineup of the products. The other thing that you can do that is optional is to add raisins in, and I will add raisins, either raisins, craisins, any dried fruit really. It'll take about 1/2 cup if you are wanting to add that. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to take your coconut oil and you're going to put it in a glass container, and I measured mine out at 1/2 cup. Then I put it in my microwave for 1 minute. After that minute, I pull it out and then I just make sure that everything is liquefied. So that's your first step. Then you're going to measure out 4 cups of your oats. You can make this with the gluten-free oats, it's the same amount. So 4 cups. And just put it in a large bowl. It doesn't have to be a metal bowl, it can be any good sized bowl. This is really only for mixing. And there's our 4 cups. The next ingredient is going to be your seeds, and you're going to do 1.5 cups of seeds. Really any seeds of your choice. I'm going to do 1/2 cup of hemp seeds, 1/2 cup of sunflower seeds, and 1/2 cup of pumpkin seeds, or pepita seeds is what they're called. Okay, so here's my 1/2 cup of pepita seeds, 1/2 cup of sunflower seeds, and 1/2 cup of the hemp hearts. Put that in your bowl, give it a little stir to mix everything around. Next, you're going to add your cinnamon and your salt. The cinnamon I use 2 teaspoons, and the salt I use just under 1/2 teaspoon because I'm using the Himalayan salt, the Himalayan pink sea salt. It has much more flavor than if you use table salt. So if you're going to use table salt, probably about a full 1/2 teaspoon. Otherwise, the Himalayan salt just under that 1/2 teaspoon. So you're going to take your cinnamon and just sprinkle it, and take 1 more teaspoon. Now I'm going to take the salt and just under that 1/2 teaspoon, so I just shook some off, and then I'm just going to dust it in here. Once you've added those ingredients, again, you're going to mix this. Get all those ingredients together. I don't measure anything for my coconut flakes. I really just take a small handful. It's probably under, I have 1/3 cup here, so it's probably maybe only about 1/4 cup. And I'm just gonna crush them because they're the large flakes. And I'm just gonna crush them up a little bit and sprinkle them in here. And then I'm also gonna add my raisins again. Oops. The raisins and craisins or any dried fruit, really it's optional. I like that it adds a little bit more sweet to the granola that you're making. Just give it a mix. After you've added the coconut flakes, I should tell you too that you should have your oven going at 350 degrees, and I'll put a note in the front of this YouTube video of the ingredients, how much you'll need of each thing, and then also what to set the oven at. So 350. I have the coconut oil here, the 1/2 cup, and I'm gonna add some vanilla to it. I'm just gonna do 1/2 teaspoon. And the reason for that is because this is the extra strong vanilla. I got this when I was traveling in the Dominican, and it has so much more flavor than the stuff that we get here. So if you're using regular vanilla, you might want to go a little more than 1/2 teaspoon. Your desired taste. You know, the other thing that you could do is you could also do almond extract. If you were looking to do like maybe a craisin almond type feel, and then you could add almonds in here, like chopped almonds as your nuts of choice. So once you have the recipe, you can really kind of play around and mix it up to what you want your granola to have in it and to flavor. All right, so now that I've got the vanilla mixed in here, I'm gonna pour this over. You're gonna just coat all of the ingredients that are in here, and just keep stirring until it's completely coated. All right, you're gonna add in the 1/2 cup of maple syrup. You just drizzle it over everything, and it's gonna be the same process. You're gonna mix until everything is coated. I have prepared a baking sheet here with parchment paper. Once you get this all mixed in, you're gonna see that there's no residual of the maple syrup or the coconut oil. It's all perfectly blended in, everything is coated. The next step is we're going to go ahead and put it into the parchment paper lined pan here. All you're gonna do is pat this down so that it fills all the spaces. Just make sure that there's an even distribution of the oats. This will help in the baking process to make sure that everything is evenly baked. The next step is that you're going to put it in the oven at 350 and set the timer for 10 minutes. When that 10 minutes is done, we're going to remove that. We're going to mix and stir this back up and then put it back in the oven for another 10 to 11 minutes. We're gonna watch for it to turn golden brown. This has been in here for 10 minutes, so we're going to remove this, set it on the countertop, and then you're going to take a spatula and move the granola around just so it can help distribute it so it goes evenly when we put it back into the oven. Once you've stirred it up, go ahead and press it back down so it leaves a nice, even, hard surface. This helps to create those clusters after it's baked the final 10 minutes. It is done. It's been another 11 minutes, and I'm gonna pull that out of the oven and we're gonna bring it here to cool. All right, this is a nice golden brown. As you can see, it's still sizzling, you can hear it. You're going to leave this sit here for 45 minutes undisturbed. What that allows it to do is cool, and then you're gonna be able to get some of those clumps. I have another tray that I already had done earlier in the day, and I'm gonna go ahead and bring that over here now and show you how that looks as a final product. So this is your final product. I'm gonna just lift this up. You'll see that you have a few crumbles in here. Nice and crisp. You can kind of hear how crisp it is. And just seal this in an airtight container such as Pyrex. Glass containers work really good for this. And you have yourself granola. This recipe is a good basic recipe, easy to do. You can play around with the different nuts that you add in here, the different dried fruits that you add in here, and make it your own. This is a yield, it's a pretty good amount. I did set aside another jar container. This could be used as a gift. This is a perfect complement. If you've watched any of my other videos, I do have one on how to make homemade yogurt in your Instant Pot, as well as how to make vegan style yogurt. So if you haven't watched those and you want something to go with this, you can hop on over to some of those other videos. If you like what you see here, go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.